Welcome to Andy Firth's podcast. Well, this is the first one in the series, and I'm delighted to introduce a wonderful artist and a dear friend of mine who's performing a new Elvis show, The Wonder of Elvis. I'm delighted to welcome Mitch Capone. Hi, Mitch.
Hey, Andy. Thanks very much for having me, mate.
No problem, mate.
Privileged to be part of your first podcast.
Thanks,
looking
mate.
forward to hear many more.
Cheers. Well, we'll see how we go.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about this show, The Wonder of Elvis, that you're performing.
Well, this is something that I've been kind of dreaming of for quite a few years since I first started singing Elvis. I've always wanted to do something a little bit spectacular and special with Elvis's music. Mm-hmm. A lot of people love Elvis to this day and are familiar with the originals. But I just wanted to raise the bar a little bit, so I contacted you actually and said, would you be interested in doing some arrangements for me? And I'm delighted and very grateful that you took on the project, mate. And
it's a pleasure.
Mate, the result I am so excited about, and I can't wait for audiences to hear it, because it's been an anticipation for like a year to get it on the stage. But the creative process that we went through to create the show, I really enjoyed.
Yeah, I did too.
And I think it's something very special. And
yeah, I agree with you. I'm looking forward to seeing it as well. And you've done a concert in Sydney, which went very well. Where that was the test case, I guess. And now you're going to unleash all fury at Lizottes.
Indeed. Oh, yeah. Last Saturday night, it was very successful. People responded well. The band highly complimented the charts, and I was relaxed and I sang well. So it was a very enjoyable experience for sure. And for the amount of people, there was actually 3 other Elvis shows on in Sydney that night, so it was a bit hard to get people there, but there were dedicated Elvis fans there that night.
Why do you think people are attracted to Elvis still after all of this time he's been gone? What is it about his performances and the music that he chose? He didn't write the music, obviously, but he selected songs that became hits that are still evergreens and people still love. And what do you think it was? There was something about his voice, or was it the material that he selected, or his arranges, or his dynamic performances on stage, or was it a combination of everything?
Well, it's got to be a few things, I'm sure. Like his voice was spectacular from the start. Well, he started off trying to be in like quartet groups and things, and he didn't quite fit in there because he was always trying to sing the lead. Similar to Sinatra. Yeah, so he was destined to be a lead vocalist, and he got knocked back a few times. But I guess it wasn't until he met the Colonel Tom Parker, who was an amazing businessman, I suppose is the real reason why he was a huge success, and he made all the deals. And had a vision for Elvis, I guess. And Elvis had the stage persona to go with it. He caused a lot of uproar with, mothers getting worried of their daughters with him shaking his hips on the TV. But
he started off in amateur contests, didn't he? He started off in basically amateur contests where you get up and have a go.
Yeah, and there were. I guess people didn't think much of him for a little while, but I don't know. He always had that belief in himself, I guess, and that's a big part of it. You definitely got to believe in yourself and just go for it. And
he certainly had the voice from a very
early
early age. He certainly had the voice. You can hear that in his early recordings.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also Sam Phillips, who ran Sun Studios, was looking for a white man who sounded like a black man as well. That's where he kind of started when he first came in to record That's All Right Mama, that started getting played on the radio. That was his first kind of hit that he recorded for his mother. So it kind of grew from then, and word of mouth was more dominating in those days. DJs could sort of pick what they liked, and they liked Elvis.
My darling, I will hold you for your touch a long, long time. and time goes by so slowly, and time can do so much for you. Still
And people like Elvis.
So what's in your show? Are you doing? I know what I did with the arrangements, but can you explain to the audience, our audience and our listeners, what's different about this show? What would make it stand out from other Elvis shows, do you think?
Well, the concept of this show, I also do a couple of other tribute shows too. I started with my tribute shows as Michael Bublé and Frank Sinatra, but I'd sang Elvis first many years ago with an early years of Elvis show, and I guess one of the concepts was to do an Elvis show in the same vein like Michael Bublé did with Frank Sinatra, how he rejuvenated Sinatra's music for a younger audience, and sort of had some things rearranged and jazzed up, but in an Elvis style. Is that how you would explain what you did, Andy?
I think we just revitalised the ideas and the feel of the original arrangements. I mean, we certainly did hype a few up, like Teddy Bear and
we didn't do Teddy Bear.
Oh, it wasn't Teddy Bear. Which one was it?
We could do that.
That I hyped up.
If we wanted to. That was Don't Be Cruel.
Don't Be Cruel. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Yeah, Don't Be Cruel. I rocked that up a bit, didn't I?
Yeah. But we've definitely respected the originals and sort of flavoured it up from there. So I already know from how the audience responded last Saturday night that they really enjoy and respect what I'm doing.
Great.
And they can sense that I'm not trying to be Elvis, but I'm paying tribute to him in my own way as a singer, which I'm really grateful to be able to do.
And you've gone all out on this, because I know when I arranged it that it's actually written for a 7-piece, so we've got trumpet, trombone and saxophone as well backing you up, rather than just having a synthesizer or a keyboard player trying to cover all the lines that he did in his live shows, because we based the horn performances, well, I know I based the horn performances on what was played, and although they're my own lines, very much in the feel of what he did for his live shows, like the Hawaiian concert that he did, where it was very high energy and very brassy at times. So you haven't skimped on this. You've really gone all out on it.
Yeah, I wanted to make an impact in the Elvis scene. I would say, like I've been singing Elvis for a long time, but I guess to be sort of
you do it very well too.
Thank you.
Your Bublé is superb, but your Elvis is even better.
Well, I feel like my voice is more naturally suited to Elvis. In all honesty, like when I'm most relaxed, I kind of naturally have that sound. That's how
important.
I sort of approach it.
It's important because I think audiences can hear straight through someone who's trying to be someone they're not naturally, or don't have an affinity with, and you do have an affinity with.
That's what
Elvis.
I strive to be, is not to be fake in any way.
Yeah.
I'm just staying true to the music and myself, and the singing and the music are the first 2 points for me. That's what I definitely want to nail on the head. And what I'm wearing and how I'm moving around is secondary. Like, I'm still going to be having fun and putting on a suit, but I'm not trying to be Elvis in his stage performance. I'm trying to.
That's good. I think that's refreshing.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I know a lot of people like seeing people dress up in the gold lame and all of that. But
I do have a gold lame suit.
but I mean the capes and the feather boas and all of that sort of stuff. I mean that's all great. But that was Elvis, and I think it should stay with Elvis.
Yeah, I think people have seen a lot of that.
It's more important to do the material and sing it as well as almost as well as he did. I don't think anyone ever
connecting to the song is definitely what I'm trying to do, and having your arrangements support me from underneath all of that is just a very strong foundation that I'm just really grateful for.
Well, I absolutely was thrilled to do it because, it gave me a renewed respect for Elvis as the performer, but also as a person who could select material that was relevant to many years, like quite a wide range of ages. So Elvis appealed to my grandfather and appealed to me and my brother and my sister, as well as my mother and my grandmother. There was really so much material and such a wide breadth of material that he didn't really offend anybody, no matter what you listened to of Elvis. It was all listenable. The Wonder of You and
it's a broad spectrum,
even Blue Hawaii and some of those beautiful old songs.
I guess people are still passing it down to their children.
Absolutely, and there's still a renewed interest in Elvis, which is absolutely phenomenal. I think it's
What do you
amazing.
think was the common ground of why all your family liked Elvis?
Well, I think it was the quality of the arrangements, because my family was very much musically in tune with good quality music. Dad only had the best and played the best. But I think it was also the quality of his voice. It was always in tune. It was never strident. It was always sounded natural, easy for him to do.
Yeah.
And it was always musical. Everything he did was musical. It was beautifully finished or beautifully done. But I think the main appeal for me, speaking for myself, was that he chose material that was excellent to start with. He never wrote his own songs for the sake of writing his own songs.
Yeah.
He always picked material that was the best of the best.
Yeah.
Whether it
Indeed.
be Wonder of You or...
and a good example of that is when he was in Germany, in the army, he heard O Sole Mio on the radio and came back and asked his record company to write him an English translation of that, which turned out to be...
What can people expect to hear in your show? Can you give us some idea of some of the spectacular numbers? I know what they are because I arranged them, but there's some surprises in, isn't there? You've done some quite ambitious material like the American trilogy.
Yeah, well, to sort of answer part of your question from earlier as well, I did research on his live performances from the 70s and from the 68 comeback special, all his number one hits, and also I threw in a few songs that people aren't going to expect as well. So there are definitely going to be songs in it that people want to hear, which you have to do, and I love singing them as well. The hits are hits for a good reason.
There was one I introduced you to as well. It was a
definitely
golden oldie.
Won't tell them what it is yet. They'll have to find out.
Yeah,
but I really like that song. And
I was surprised that
one...
Elvis had recorded. I was delighted to find out he had, because it's been one of my favourite songs for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Oh. So what was one of your favourites to arrange, Andy?
To arrange? I think I really enjoyed doing CC Rider, only from the point of view of the challenge of the speed of it. I mean, people are going to be absolutely in awe of the tempo of that opener, the intro, because you actually got me to write you an intro to the show as well, which I thoroughly enjoyed, because you wanted a bit of Batman, and a bit of Batman and a bit of Spider-Man and a bit of this and a bit of that.
Anticipation, and a news report.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
And 2001 Odyssey.
Yeah, that's right.
So
and CC Rider was one of my favourites to arrange, but also the American trilogy, because it was a challenge to take those beautiful old Civil War songs and give them some new breath.
Yeah.
Change some of the chord changes and all, but still keeping with the original spirit of
I'm glad
the
you said
American
that, 'cause
trilogy.
that's one of my favourite
And you do
songs
it brilliantly.
to sing.
Yeah.
And also it's the every Elvis fan knows that song. It's iconic because he sang it on the first satellite broadcast when he did the Hawaii concert. It's very famous, that one, and I'm very passionate when I sing that. And I actually had to ask you twice to do that one, because you originally said, "Oh, that's a big orchestrated number. I'm not sure."
Yeah,
it's going to sound all right with a
I was a bit
seven-piece band.
concerned that we could make it sound fat enough,
But
and,
I believed
and
in
big
you,
enough.
and I asked you a second time. You said, "Okay," and I'm so grateful.
It's amazing what you can do with three voices: trumpet,
and
trombone, and sax.
But the way you've arranged it, it makes it sound like the band is bigger, which is amazing. An amazing talent to be able to do.
Oh, that's good to know. Well, Tico's lessons weren't wasted then, hopefully.
Yeah.
But another one of my favourites was Are You Lonesome Tonight? I've always loved that song. And I especially enjoyed doing that arrangement because it gave me a chance to delve back into my ballroom dance days and some of those beautiful old orchestrations of Jimmy Lally and things that I used to play.
Beautiful.
So I enjoyed that. But I also enjoyed rocking up a few of the old ones, giving them new life too. Don't Be Cruel, for example, was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you did that a second time. You originally started doing the old version. I was like, oh no,
I finished the chart of the old version, and you said, can we rock it up a bit?
Yeah, I think it needs to be more like this one from the '68.
Which I was delighted to do because it gave me a challenge. It was
and I'm glad I said that because I love what you did with it. I really hipped it up.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad. Yeah, and there was also that the one that's got the Peter Gunn type riff. I'm trying to think of the name of it.
Oh yeah, that's Let Yourself
Go. Let Yourself Go. That was a lot of fun too because I had to drop into 1970s.
I remember you
cop
saying
shows.
That was one of your favourites because that's totally different from all the other.
I had to pick
charts.
up all those lines out of 1970s cop shows for
Yeah.
the brass.
Yeah, and
that was a lot of fun.
The 007 hint in there.
Yeah, a little bit of a thing in there. Yeah.
No, it's really fun that.
Yep.
Love me tender, love me true, all my dreams fulfill. For my darling, I love you, and I always will.
All right, so how do people book tickets to see this marvellous show, which is only, in a week or so's time?
Yeah, well, you can just go on the Lizottes website and click on whatever table you like. I think there's only upstairs left now, so it's a good view from upstairs.
So to be clear, that's Lizottes Newcastle.
Lizottes Newcastle,
Lambton.
Yep, in Lambton, or you could phone the club up.
Oh well, I believe we have a couple of snippets from your last show in Sydney, which were as audio, of course, not as video, and so we'll play those for our listeners. But I'd like to thank you for being the first guest for my podcast.
Thank you very much, Andy. I really
Good luck with
appreciate
the
you
show.
having me today.
Looking forward to seeing it, mate.
Cheers, mate.
All
Really
the best.
appreciate your work.
See you, mate.
Thank you.